Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for another cold but windy episode of In the Holler. With yours truly,
The Holler Boys.
Now,
What the heck? Hey, accents. A little bit of an accent.
that was on purpose.
I know.
In the hills.
And the hustles.
So, you'll join us here on this cold, windy,
You're still doing the accent.
dreary Saturday evening. It's like what, 5 o'clock at night right now?
Like 4:30.
It is 5:04.
Holy crap! She wants to be back by 6 o'clock, Sean.
It's all right. We can have that done.
Oh, hi.
Gotta wait to the peoples.
We got him.
That wasn't even my neighbor either. I thought that was my neighbor at first. No, it's the weather has changed drastically. It's been like warm most of the week, and then a couple of days it rained. But now today it's just like yesterday. Like it was like almost 80 degrees. What, Thursday?
Yeah.
And then yesterday
Felt like 100 in the shop.
yeah, yesterday it was a nice cool, like I'd say probably like 60, 65 because it was still raining.
Yeah.
And then it got muggy towards the evening. But now today it's been like 30, 35 degrees all day.
It sucks.
And it's cold.
Thank
And
you for
obviously with it being, evening time is getting colder.
Thank you for the blanket, Sean.
You're welcome. Joe
Dude.
decided he was going to wear shorts to today's episode.
Yeah.
And he's standing there shivering like a little chihuahua.
Yeah.
And so he found my Cheetos blanket. Shout out to Bill Keener for getting that for me for Christmas.
Thank you. It's really.
It is super soft. It is a Cheetos blanket. One side it just says Cheetos. The other side it says Flaming Hot, and it has a hot Flaming Hot Cheetos on it. But shout out to him for getting that for me. I love it. It's a soft blanket. I've used it before, especially in the truck.
When you're sleeping in the truck, just throw it on and you're good for the night.
Yeah.
You've actually slept in the truck?
I've slept in the truck, yeah. And it hasn't, I don't want to say it was on purpose, but at the same time, I don't want to say it's on accident. I'm not homeless, okay? I don't live out of the truck, okay? I'm going to clear that up right now. No, it was one of those, just a bunch of stuff was going on. And
you wanted to get away.
I just wanted to get away from the house. And next thing I know, I'm relaxing, leaning back in the truck down at the park.
And you just
And
go.
next thing I know, I'm watching YouTube and I'm getting a little cold, so I threw that on. And next thing I know, I'm
slumped,
brother.
Till you get a knock in the window and the cops are like, "Sir, you intoxicated?"
I've never had a cop pull down at the park. And it always says that it's patrolled, but it's not.
Yeah, like
Same thing with the one gate towards the back by the museum. It always says it closes at dusk.
It doesn't. No. We got a pretty chill town, really.
Yeah. Well, they know regardless, people are going to go back there.
Yeah. Plus, half the cops are from this town, so we know all the spots. We've been there. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they have, like, reports and stuff, they'll go back.
Yeah, they'll go back. Just like the time you were trying to teach me how to drive old Bessie here, Rexy.
Yeah, I was trying to... we were down at by the BMX track, and I was teaching Joe and my buddy Alex how to drive a manual in Rexy.
I think I was doing pretty good that day.
Joe was doing okay.
With the slight,
he got a little too confident, and he started going faster. Well, the first time Alex gets in it, he goes down, and next thing you know, here comes a Jeep and a cop. Mm-hmm. And the cop pulls up, and my buddy Alex is driving the car, and he was just like, what are you guys doing? You guys need to get out of here. Just go to the back roads if you're going to do this. He goes, you can hurt someone. Someone can run out in front of you. We were the only ones there.
Yeah, we were the only ones there.
Not a single soul was there. And dude proceeds to turn around, drive down the road a little bit. And instead of leaving the park, he turns down and sits on the other side of the BMX track and pulls out the radar gun to make sure we don't go flying out of there. I didn't fly out of there until we actually left the park. Mm-hmm. And we got right up behind the three old dudes that called.
Yeah.
the cops on us because he's like, oh, we've had multiple reports, but yet there's 3 dudes literally just sitting, waiting for it to happen to make sure that the cops actually did something about it. Like, we weren't hurting anyone, we weren't speeding.
No, he was just literally teaching us how to drive manual.
They weren't, like, no one was whipping it around, doing donuts or anything. They were literally going down the drive, turning around, coming back, turning around. And, yeah, just, they were probably at least in their 40s or 50s.
Then, whenever we get on the main road behind them, they're swerving.
Yeah, they're swerving all over the place. And
no, we didn't call. We were like, oh,
I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to let karma handle that.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, because they turned down the road. We pulled into not Gecko, Giant Eagle. And they turned down the one road. And right down the road, as they are speeding up to get away from us, swerving all over the road, there's a cop sitting there.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, you know what? If karma is real, something's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, last week we were kind of talking about like homesteading, getting our own like barn dominiums and all that, and wouldn't it be nice to just be self-reliant, like just rely on what you have on your homestead, like animals, plants, and all that?
Yeah, it would. I mean, it's
a lot.
It's harder
than said.
Because but then again, you got to sit there and look at it. You're used to just going to the store, grabbing what you want.
Exactly.
But no, it'd be nice because you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I know it's fresh grown.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the stuff's being around and being sprayed with. So I know, okay, I'm not using any pesticides. So I know I'm not using any pesticides, and it's I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to worry about any of the GMOs or anything like that. And I mean, it's nice because it's fresher. And then you get to sit there and be like, I grew this or I harvested this.
Exactly.
But I think the hardest thing would be to like do your own spices and stuff.
Yeah.
And because I mean, I know some stuff you can do, but like other stuff like nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even what's nutmeg actually made out of?
A nut? I don't know.
What do you even use nutmeg for?
Isn't it for like drink? Like put it in nutmeg, the drink?
You mean eggnog?
Eggnog or something like that?
I don't ever use nutmeg.
I don't know.
But guess what time it is, Joe?
Oh, no.
Fact of the day. Yeah.
Okay, Sean, what's the fact of the day today?
The fact of the day is, did you know that nutmeg is actually a hallucinogenic?
No, it's not.
Yeah. So, I'm going to pull up my phone. I normally don't do this, but I'm going to pull up my phone so I can tell you exactly. Because the one ingredient that nutmeg has in it.
Big boy word.
Is a big boy word. So, it says right here, nutmeg is a hallucinogenic. The spice contains myricetin. If I said that wrong, I apologize, guys. It's a big boy word. It's a natural compound that has mind-altering effects if ingested in large doses.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, so nutmeg is classified as a hallucinogenic. Also, do you know how to tell which mushrooms will send you on a trip or not? Like a hallucinogenic mushroom or not?
I don't know if we should be telling the viewers this, Sean.
Well, no, because I know, there's some people out there that are into harvesting mushrooms.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I've been seeing a lot pop up on Facebook.
A lot of people are just like, well, how do I know which ones are hallucinogenic or not? If you flip a mushroom upside down and on top of the cap, how they have like the fins and stuff on the bottom of the cap, if you press those and they turn purple, it's a hallucinogenic mushroom.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, it's either a hallucinogenic or a poisonous mushroom.
So you got to be real careful about that.
So, yeah, but then again, at the same time, if you're sitting there pressing the bottom of the mushroom, you're kind of ruining the mushroom.
True.
But if you have a bunch of them and you pick like a small one and you do it to it and it checks clear, pick one of like the medium or the bigger ones, check it. If it comes back clear where it doesn't turn purple, then you can go ahead and collect the rest of the bunch and you're fine. As long as they look like the ones that you tested, then you're good. Obviously, you still want to consult and do your research. Don't just go out and like take my word and be like, oh, this one's didn't turn purple.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
do your research.
Some of them, they won't turn purple, but they can still be harmful to you.
I know Brandy, she actually has a book about gathering and all that and like what is poisonous,
We both do.
You both do?
Brandy and I, we used to go on walks all the time.
Yeah.
And we would just look at, plants and stuff and be like, oh, like you can eat that one if you want, or we would take our, like my book or her book.
Yeah.
And, we would just go foraging.
The thing is, I know I need to get one of those books because if something actually happened, you need to know what you're eating. And
my book is an old book. Mm-hmm. Like it's an old, like
one
60s
that could
or 70s.
Actually be trusted.
Yeah. But I mean, I have 2 of them. They're made by the same author. Actually, no, I got rid of them. I don't have them anymore. But the one, it told you like how to make like snare traps and like different other types of traps and different types of knots.
So basically, like a survival guide.
It was basically like a Boy Scout book.
Oh, okay.
But it could tell you how to like boil water and everything else like that.
We almost forgot the wave.
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of a story.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to be rude. But then the other one told you like plants in the area, and it would also tell you the poisonous lookalikes as well.
Yeah,
which was nice. But yeah, we would always go out and just forage.
I want to do that. You know what I mean? Just get out and just see what the world has to offer instead of stores. Because my dad was telling me a little bit about it today. Most of the bread that we eat has a pesticide that is sprayed over all the wheat.
It's fake. It's fake bread.
Yeah, most of it's fake. But if it has enriched bread, it's been bleached. It's been processed so much, and it's not good for you. And it's hard for our bodies to process everything we're consuming because of all the stuff they have on it. And he told me, he said, I'm going to try, but it's hard to find actual flour that is not processed. He's like, once I get that in store, he said he's going to make
brown flour.
Brown flour?
Yeah, brown flour isn't bleached, which that's what white flour is.
Yeah.
Also, do you know why they tell you not to eat raw cookie dough?
Because of the eggs?
No.
What?
Because of the flour.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so whenever someone says don't eat the raw cookie dough because you can get sick, it's not because of the raw eggs in it.
It's because of the flour.
That's because of the flour. Because of all the animal poop and everything that's on the wheat and stuff for the flour, they can't get all that off. So you got to think, we're just harvesting all that stuff and then they're grinding it down and bleaching it and selling it. Like, yeah, like the bleaching process helps, but that bacteria can still be there. Mm-hmm. Especially if you get like the brown flour and stuff like that, where it's non-bleached.
Yeah,
it's more harmful because, well, it's better for you because it's not bleached, but at the same time, you have to kind of watch because you can still get sick from it because of the bacteria and stuff from animal poop being on it, from like birds and stuff like that.
I don't know. I just want to give my kid the best life, you know. Like,
I think that's what any parent wants.
Just, I want him to grow up on a farm. You know what I mean? Like a nice barn dominium house and like a lot of acres to run, a pond to fish in, animals to go play with. You know, just so he doesn't get raised up as a baby. Just send him out, and if he scrapes his knee, just say, "Is it bleeding?" You know what I mean?
It's like that one commercial where that girl, I think the girl's like petting her cat or doing something, and her kid runs in and goes, "Mom, I fell."
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, "Okay, the Band-Aids are in the cabinet. I'm bleeding. Grab 2."
Literally what my mom would have said to me.
Oh, yeah.
If we got hurt, she said, "Are you bleeding?"
I think the only time
Do you need to go to the hospital? Okay, you're fine. Get over it. Sorry.
The only time I would go to the hospital is when I thought I broke my hand.
Yeah.
Which was like once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week, I would show up to I would walk into the house, my mom would be there, and my hand would be all swollen and be like, "Mom, I think I broke my hand."
But that's how I want. Like, I want my kids to grow up and like to where they can learn how to be confident out in the wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just want it so where like my kids, like if they fall,
they don't get up and cry.
Get back up. Like especially if they're like learning how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Don't give up.
Like walk
Just
away.
Get up.
Get up. You're okay.
You're okay. Yeah.
Keep going. Keep trying.
And like
I want my kid to be able to take his bike off of like a 4-foot ramp that he made himself Okay.
And just go flying.
He's out there with, some cinder blocks and a 2x4 I had laying around the house. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's a bad idea. But at the same time, he's got to learn.
He's got to learn. And
I'm not going to step in. Now, if I saw him with a piece of plywood and 6 cinder blocks underneath that thing, and him and his friends are standing there getting ready to go, I'm like, okay, let's
let's
move a couple of these cinder blocks more towards the middle to strengthen a little bit.
You wouldn't shut it down. You'd be like, let's strengthen the
Let's
thing.
make it a little safer.
Oh, my.
And then you can hit it, because then that way when you eat it, you're going to know.
Not to do that again.
Don't do it again. But I'll make sure like my kids have a helmet and stuff on too. I don't want them to end up with brain damage.
I forget what movie it was, but this dad's sitting there watching his son, and his son picks up a fork, and his wife comes up running behind him and says, "Put that down." And he says, "No." Let's see. And he leads up for it. And he says, "Okay, Junior, go for it."
Yeah.
And the lights go out, and he says, "You won't be doing that again." Dude, like, I feel like that's going to be me.
Like, that's the only way they're going to learn.
Yeah, you can't shelter. If you shelter, you're going to get what we have now.
Like, I remember my mom would always, like, you can see it now with kids. Be like, oh, don't touch that. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't touch that. It's hot. If you're going to touch it, you're going to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that hurt you, didn't it? Yeah, okay, well, then don't do it again.
Like the stories I hear from my in-laws, whenever their kids were growing up, they had a wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their kids went over, and Tom said, "Hey, don't touch that. That's hot." Puts his hand right over top of it and burns his hand. He never touched it again. Never. Like, you got to learn.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to it. I'm not going to be harsh.
No, you can't be harsh.
But at the same time, like, if it's super dangerous and I know it's going to hurt my kid super bad, obviously,
we're going to stop it. Yeah.
But I mean, then again, it's like, okay, they can end up injured a little bit.
Little bumps and scrapes.
A scratch, maybe a couple of bruises, they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd have to sit there and be like, okay, how am I going to explain that to my wife? Like, my kid has scratches on his knees, on his hands. How am I going to tell my wife that he came flying down the hill in the yard, hit a 4-foot ramp with his buddies that he made out of plywood and cinder blocks, and I just stood there and watched?
I can see that now. Oh my!
All I'm gonna hear,
Ashlyn flying up the driveway. What the heck?
all I'm gonna hear. This is how it's gonna play out. I'm gonna see my kid and his friends all the way up here at the top of the hill, and I'm gonna look down at the bottom. There's gonna be a ramp down there made out of plywood and cinder blocks, and I'm gonna sit there and think, okay, how'd they even move that cinder block? Because it weighs more than them. But then again, there's like 4 of them with, so they can handle it.
Yeah,
they can handle the cinder block. And then I'm going to hear the front door open behind me, and it's going to be my wife. And all I'm going to see is, like, I'm going to look back, look at my wife. My wife's eye is going to go like this. And next thing I know, I just hear my kid flying.
Oh,
and then
just a good old boy.
And then I'm supposed to sit there and explain why I was just standing there not stopping it. Like, what am I supposed to say? It's like, oh, I'm sorry there, dear.
No,
I just wanted to see what would play out.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to stop. He was already on his way down the hill. You should have seen it. You should have seen it, Margaret.
Oh, my goodness.
Our boy was flying.
He was flying, dear.
Oh, that wind.
That kind of scared me for a bit. You looked over, I thought someone walked in.
No, I knew the door. No, the scariest thing in this garage is when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm down here working.
Yeah.
And it is quiet because I'll turn my music off so I don't disturb my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here, like, I'll be like laying underneath the car, just minding my own business, doing something real quick. And then out of nowhere, the air compressor kicks on.
Dude.
Right.
Sometimes I get like that at work where it's just completely silent.
It's complete quiet and you're just enjoying it and everyone's just doing their own thing. And then out of nowhere, air compressor kicks on and you're like...
I do that
you
all
start dozing
the time.
off.
I do that all the time.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I'm just glad it's starting to get nicer out.
Yeah, and I want it to stay like that.
I mean, it's still pretty cold out today.
It is.
But we got a lot done today. Well, I got a lot done today. Not really.
I just cleaned the church with 3 youth. That's all I did.
At least it got cleaned.
Yeah, at least it got cleaned. Trying to teach the youth, we use this building, we should take care of it. And,
Yeah.
if you're using something, you got to clean it.
Just if you're out walking around, like in the woods on a trail or something, and you see some garbage, pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up.
You want to leave the place better than what you found it.
Especially if you're on someone else's property.
Yeah.
Or someone else's, house.
You want to take care of the land, the nature. Like, this is the only earth that we have.
Yeah.
Let's take care of it.
And
As I drive a black smoke rolling pre-EGR diesel truck.
I was watching.
It's 10 miles to the gallon.
Dude, I was watching my show last night with Ashlyn.
Your Heartland.
Heartland. That's a good show, but we got on the episode where Lou is dating an oil man, and the oil man was talking about going green, and Jack was just got a big herd of cows, and he said, "Don't worry, man. I'll tell the cows to stop farting." Dude, that's
man.
great.
Well, if you think about it, so I mentioned my truck being before EGR. If you guys don't know what EGR stands for, it is exhaust gas recirculation. It takes some of your exhaust gases and it feeds it back into the motor. It's supposed to be more fuel efficient, better for the economy and everything else. But it is killing the motors that it's on. Okay, my truck has 258,000 miles on it. It's the original motor. It runs like crap because it wasn't taken care of, but it still runs.
It still runs
when it wants to. Anyway,
well, you got to think diesel. It takes a while.
I can open that thing up, and there's not going to be a whole lot of carbon. Like, there's going to be carbon regardless.
Yeah,
but not a whole lot. If I opened up the motor, say out of I'll say a 2020 F350 with, I'm going to go 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's going to be carboned up, gummed up, everything else. And it's all because of that EGR.
My thought process is nowadays they're making stuff to break, so you have to go buy them. Like your iPhones. They make one every year, and they make it. I honestly think they make the phones to where they don't last, so you have to keep getting.
Obviously.
It's same with vehicles. They're making them cheap so they don't last, so they make more money because
stuff's not built like it used to be, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to build stuff like they used to.
Yeah.
Because of the price of everything.
Yeah.
Now, if you take my truck, it's a 97. If you compare it to a new one.
Yeah.
If you took a 2025 Ford F350, single cab long bed, 6.7 power stroke, and you built it with the same amount of steel that would take to build it, so it had the strength and everything that my truck has.
Yeah.
That truck would go from an $80,000 truck to about a $160,000 truck.
That's crazy
to buy. Because A, Fords use aluminum now. B, the steel is so thick,
dude. Like, seriously,
it's hard to believe. Like, if you saw the frame underneath that truck, I mean, even the front bumper. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, front bumper's the main thing about that.
I'm
truck.
pretty sure the front bumper, it's made out of, I think it's 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch.
Dang.
And then the top part that covers the headlights, it's I think it's 1/2 inch. No, it's not 1/2 inch.
It's just stronger and more.
It's bigger than, I know it's less than 1/2 inch, but bigger than 1/4.
Yeah.
So it'd be
easy way to put it.
It's thick.
It's
thick and heavy.
Easy way to make it. They don't make things the way they used to.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get myself one. Do you know how nice?
Honestly, I have nothing against Fords. Okay, obviously I drive one. If you are going to get an older Ford, look over it, make sure it runs good,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it's not all rotted out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be okay. Same thing with the Cummins. You have to be more weary of a Cummins with rust because anything that deals with Mopar is made out of beer cans. Because the metal on it's so thin, it rusts super easy.
Wait, say that again?
What?
Beer cans?
So Mopar, everyone says that they're made out of beer cans because Mopar, which is Dodge, Chrysler, all that, they make their stuff super thin.
Like
Like a beer can.
Beer can.
Because that's why if you see any muscle car out there and it's a Mopar, so your Plymouth, your Chrysler's, Dodge, it's all either completely ate out or everyone wants an arm and a leg for them.
Yeah.
Especially if it's original steel, everyone wants an arm and a leg for it. Because it's super thin, so it's super hard to find them not all laid out.
That's
versus
crazy.
Chevy. I don't like Chevys, but I don't like the newer Chevys.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit. You said if you got an older Chevy.
Like if I had a square body Chevy, I'd drive it.
Yeah.
100%. Or like an old Camaro or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there. Like I don't get excited seeing like a newer Camaro. I don't get excited over seeing a new like Duramax or anything like that. Now,
You get excited over this girl.
I mean, I'll turn heads for a loud Cummins and a nice sounding power strip.
Yeah.
Mainly a Cummins.
Guys, if you don't know now, Sean's a big car guy, as you can tell.
Truck, anything with a motor.
Anything with a motor in it.
Well, you got to think. I used to work at Cummins,
Yeah.
so I mean that didn't make me partial. I liked Cummins before I worked at Cummins,
Yeah.
but yeah. If you're gonna buy an older one, make sure it runs good.
Just check the underneath, Make sure it runs good. Make sure the tires are good. Suspension.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's a hard find. But if you do find a nice looking truck that actually has everything restored on it to its original,
And it's not, buku bucks.
we're going to pay a pretty
Honestly,
penny.
you're gonna pay more for a truck that looks nice and actually does what it's supposed to, that you don't have to put really any money into,
Yeah.
than you are one that was sitting in someone's field for 8 years.
Yeah. That's where
But-
most of the old trucks are sitting.
Yeah.
In people's old fields.
But then again, you got to look at the price to fix them up.
Just hearing the stories from you, yeah.
Like my truck needs a new high pressure oil pump,
Yeah.
a brand new one. Now I don't have to upgrade it, obviously, but I might as well for the price difference. A bone stock one, rebuilt, is like $600-700. A stage one, which flows a little bit more fuel,
Mm-hmm.
is like $750. A stage two, which is the biggest I can go to run on stock injectors,
Yeah.
it runs about $850. So why would I might as well spend the $200 extra to get more fuel. Then that way, if I do upgrade injectors, I don't have to worry about upgrading that. Now, currently, I'm just looking at a used stock replacement one because my truck sucks. It needs one, and it's getting to the point where it's no longer okay. You have time to save up for one. It's, brother, I need one now, or I won't run at all.
That's the
So-
sad thing.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And then I have to buy a rear brake caliper for El Jefe, which
I'll have a.
all of my cars have a name. The truck is called Big Bertha.
You got
Because she
Rexy
big.
here.
Obviously, I have my beautiful girl, Rexy. And then we have El Jefe, which is the Crosstrek. She needs a rear, he, actually, because El Jefe literally just translates to the Jeff.
The Jeff.
So El Jefe needs a rear caliper, and then I got to finish putting on the tires. And then once I get the title in my name,
You're selling
I'm
the
selling
sucker.
it. I'm getting rid of El Jefe because the money from El Jefe is going
It's
to go
gonna go
into
to Rexy.
Rexy. And then talking about getting rid of the truck and all the extra parts I have for behind me as well. though. I
Yeah.
hear a car coming. They're coming up the hill, so we can't really wave. I mean, we can, but they ain't gonna see us.
They're not gonna see us.
So that's where we're at in life.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know why, but recently I've just been looking like when you know you don't have the money to get anything and you just scroll.
I was literally just talking
through
to
Marketplace
with Brandy
and,
about
like,
that. It wasn't even Marketplace. I was telling Brandy, I was like, you know, I find it funny. It'll be like 2:00 in the morning on a weekend. You're scrolling through like Zillow or Realtor.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And you see like, oh, you see a nice, beautiful house with a lot of land. 1.2 million for that? Not bad, not bad.
Not
As
bad.
I'm sitting here with like 76 cents in my bank account.
Or like me with negative 71.
You know, it's like
You're just like, oh, yeah, that's nothing. One
that's
day I'll get something.
1.2 million for that, bro. That's cheap. And it's just like I can't even afford a pack of ramen noodles right now. And I'm sitting here saying 1.2 million dollars for this house is cheap.
Yeah, I'll be doing that a lot.
I do that too on Marketplace.
People tell me I dream too much because, like, I have.
Hey. One, don't tell your dream to a small-minded person.
True.
Two, if God didn't think you can handle it,
Why would he give you the dream?
why would he give you such a big dream?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just a big dream I have, da-da-da-da-da, I can't do it. No. God obviously gave you that dream for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If he thinks you can handle it,
Yeah.
then he's going to give it to you. You're not going to sit there and dream about something if he doesn't think you can handle it. My
Exactly.
biggest dream is to start my own garage
Mm-hmm.
and own my own business. Obviously, that's a very big dream to have. It
Yeah.
costs a lot of money.
A lot of
But at
money.
the same time, God wouldn't give me that dream if he didn't believe I could do it.
Yeah. And like my dream is getting that youth building up for the
Yeah.
church and getting a campground
Yeah.
and a
Obviously,
good
it's gonna
Christian
take time.
campground. But yeah, it's gonna take time. So like, I just keep going on Realtor and I look up property for sale. You know what I mean? Oh, just 4,000 acres for $3.5 million.
that's,
You know,
that's cheap, bro. That's cheap. But no, everything's gonna happen on his time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've struggled with before is
waiting for his time.
waiting for his time because it's like, oh, I want this to happen now.
Yeah.
Like I prayed for it; it should be happening now. But no, it's no, everything's gonna happen on his time. Just he hears your prayers. Just calm down, relax. If he wants it to happen, he's gonna have it happen on his time, not
Yeah.
yours.
And like when I look at it now, like me and Ash went to the bank to try getting a loan to fix up the house, get a new car, and my credit was perfect. It passed through the first two people, and it went to the manager's manager, the top guy, and he said nope. And like I was thinking about it, and like God's not gonna put you in a situation where he knows it's not good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thinking about that, yeah, it kind of sucks because it'd be nice to have a fixed up house and another car.
Not only that, you like kind of get your hopes up because you're like, okay, like this person said yes, this person said yes, this person said yes, but then how come this person said no?
Yeah. In all reality, it was God given. You know,
That's my neighbor.
that's your neighbor. But
I am so
like,
sorry, guys.
God's not gonna put you in a certain position in your life if He knows you can't handle it
Yeah.
at that time. Like if you're praying and praying for something, and it doesn't happen in like the first month, like week or month, and you get angry and bitter about it, you got to check yourself on that. You know what I mean?
You got to
Like,
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
yeah, like seriously, because I know it's hard. Like not having a nice house, you know what I mean? Not having a nice car, a car that sounds like a semi truck going down the road. But it's hard living like that, especially with a wife and kid and having to provide. But
Living paycheck to paycheck.
paycheck to paycheck and just worrying every day. But like my dad keeps telling me, I listen a lot to my dad because, you know.
Yeah.
But he said, if God thinks you can't handle it, He's not going to give it to you right away. You know,
Yeah, because
He's not going to put you in those positions.
I mean, you got to sit there and say, like, yeah, it'd be nice to start fixing up the house. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a new car, but at the same time, you got to look at your income.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're already struggling
Yeah.
from economy and crappy pay. But
Hey yo.
The door likes to slam, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
No one's walking towards us. It's okay. It's just the wind. Anyways, but it's like he's protecting you.
Yeah, he's
like,
protecting
okay,
you for the
I already
best.
see you're struggling. I'm not going to let this happen because I don't want to see you struggle more.
I don't want you to put yourself into debt when I know you can't provide that right now. And like looking at it every night when I put my kid to sleep, like he gave me a little word. Like Brandy got Cade this like Jesus doll, and he got a Charlotte one too. It was pretty cool. Same exact one. But every time I go to put him to sleep, Ash is like on to me about, you need to give him Jesus right now. Give him Jesus instead of that stupid music box thing you have in there. But like, whenever I put that Jesus on him, like I see Cade just like ripping on him, just throwing him and all that. But as soon as I put that music down, like he calms right down. And it just gave me like a little word about like, what are you putting in front of yourself, and what are you putting behind you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course we're gonna go for the bright shiny thing, the thing that lights up and has music. You know what I mean? And that whole trusting in Jesus and trying to get day by day. You know what I mean? You got to realize you can't just have Jesus back there and try to live a holy life. Like, you can't just go to church on a Sunday and the rest of the week live like God's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like a marriage.
Yeah.
So you don't want your wife being in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want your wife being behind you.
Yeah.
It is an equal relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You want your wife beside you.
Which is
the same with having a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to fall behind Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to stay right with him. But at the same time, you don't want to get ahead of Jesus and push him to the side or behind you.
You have to let him be one step ahead of you.
One step ahead is good. Because obviously he's always going to be one step ahead because he knows the plan that he has for you.
Exactly. And you can't put yourself in that God power situation.
Exactly.
Like, if you go in with that mindset, pride comes before the fall. It says it right in the book. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I've witnessed it with my knee. If you get prideful, he's going to put a stop to it right away.
He's going to be like, all right, settle down.
Settle down, bud.
And then if you don't listen, have fun.
And you got to think, the dreams that you have with generations, and God gives you a dream, he might have gave that dream to one of your ancestors. And because they walked away and did their own thing due to pride and other sins, you know what I mean? He stopped that. That dream that they had is gone, and it will not be fulfilled because you weren't walking in the steps that God had you go. So he gives the dream to the next generation to fulfill it, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry. I don't know what the heck was that.
No, you're good. You're good. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we probably should.
We don't want this episode being too long.
No. But, like, just don't put God on the back burner. You know what I mean? Keep him in front, one step ahead of you. Let him be the one driving the wheel.
You follow him.
Yeah.
But just make sure that you're not falling too far behind him. But at the same time, don't get ahead of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're going to close it off there, guys. We're going to say a little prayer and hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
I want to take my hat off, but at the same time, it's so cold.
It's so cold. My hair's always a mess when I go to take my hat off. Sorry, guys.
That's why I got my hood on. I got my hoodie up. That way I ain't got to worry about the cold headphones. Ugh. Hold on, let me get situated.
You good? You good?
I'm getting situated here, you know, so. All right, good.
God, I pray for the people who are listening to this, God, that any dream that you put and laid upon their heart, God, that they won't get discouraged when it doesn't happen right away, that everything has a time in the name of Jesus. Everything has a time. But God, I pray that you would help those people who are struggling with putting you on the back burner, that they would have you be the one step ahead of them while you're leading them, God. God, I pray that if anyone's searching for a light, God, that you would just be there with them and lay your presence upon them to show that you love them. God, I pray for this episode that it could reach someone make someone laugh. And God, we're just going to end it there. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, brother.
And on that note, guys, thank you for coming into the Holler. We'll see you next time.
Peace.